Good evening, everyone. My name is Corey, and we are 20 Sides to Every Story. We are a online gaming group, and mostly doing TTRPGs, but we tend to do a lot of other things as well. Thank you for the cheers, Mr. Ed. Sorry, I won't call you that ever again. Thank you for the cheers, Ed.
I've heard that before,
but that just came out of my mouth. It was not intentional. Also, Cliff, thank you for the cheers. So we get 20 Slides gets into a lot of other things like console gaming, art, painting minis, everything. It's a great collaboration of people online. We have a Discord channel that's active quite often throughout the day. And if you're looking for sort of a medium-sized community that's not overwhelming, it's a great place to check out. So join our Discord and see what we're up to. If you like what you see, we encourage you to look at our Patreon page. Our Patreons, we're thankful that we have them. They help support the channel and make sure we're putting up good stuff all the time. We'll get right back in it. We had a little bit of a hiatus since our last game. And our characters, who I will ask to introduce themselves in just a second, have survived a kidnapping by the Drow and subsequent being dragged down to the Underdark, where they escaped and have slowly made their way towards what they think is the exit. Cliff, thank you for surpassing Ed in cheers. We'll see if this turns competitive by the end of the night, but I'll just say that currently Cliff is 101 ahead. Now Scott has taken a heavy lead in 1,000. Ed, you're now in third place. I'm sorry.
It's embarrassing.
And so, now we have a hype train. There's a lot going on. I haven't done this in a while. I just don't remember all the excitement. And so thank you for the gift subscriptions, Ed.
I don't know if that counts for any points, but
now you're the
but it does. It goes. Yeah, the hype train. Yep, it counts for the hype train, and that's all that matters in life is the hype train. So they've fled across the Underdark. Oh, now Cliff. Man.
Gems are rolling in.
Cliff
Dave's
is taking
too?
our sounding lead. Yeah. Oh, we're on level 3 hype train, guys.
It just went crazy.
I'm not even sure I know what to do anymore.
I'm gonna log out. I'll see you later.
That was just a big swerve. All of a sudden, Dave showed up.
I know.
Expecting that. That was
my heart medication can't take this. So
Dave, the Banhammer's here.
So Scott has taken the lead over Cliff by just a little bit.
99 is 100.
99. Yeah. So Dave is now in 4th place. No, Dave is in 3rd, isn't he? Sorry, Ed.
Nope, Dave has moved up. No, he hasn't moved up though.
I am out of the coin.
Wait, this is
I don't. All we have to do is auction some imaginary thing, Alex, and we can really game this. It turns out.
Apparently, we should go on hiatus for
all we need
more often.
We should. All we need is like a horse announcer to sit on your stream and announce that. So
be the barker.
So along the way, our party has discovered that there is some sort of breach from the abyss, and there are demons running around, including some of the demon lords. And they have evidence that Demogorgon has been around. They have evidence that I can never think of her name. The faceless one is around. Zugtamoy. And they think that the current city where they are, Blingdenstone, which has strangely an infestation of slimes, might be affected by yet a 3rd demon lord. What this all means is something that we will have to save for another day. But now where we left our characters was one of the 2 leaders of Blingdenstone was about to prepare her or present her plan of attack of how to deal with the slime problem. which is as all good gnome plans. It's a multi-tiered, multi-staged plan of attack. And so we're level 4 hype train. We can all retire, guys. So
We're about to get extra attack.
Look, there's so many gems that they're falling outside of the gem door.
I know. I feel like that's how
man.
that's how the door gets cavities. This is unsafe. He might be choking. So I've lost count, but I'm just gonna say Cliff is in the lead. Because I think that's fair.
Thanks for the gems, man.
I'm officially out of bits, so I'm out of the running.
So I have never watched the actual stream. Normally I just watch Zoom, and now I see why it's so distracting. I'll have you guys introduce yourselves, your characters, and we'll go around real quick. We'll start with Ethan.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Ethan. I play Dolphix. He is a gnome fighter.
Scott, you are up next.
All right, I've got Drazzle. Drazzle is a lizard person, and he is a cleric who is not really sure that he's a cleric. He just likes worshiping the sun, so it kind of makes him a cleric, but he doesn't really act like any cleric you might have known. He's not really into healing, things like that.
All right. Ed.
I'm Ed. I play Jasa. She is a halfling inquisitive rogue.
Whoa, thanks for the gems, man.
And last but not least is Alex.
I'm Alex, and I am playing a half-elf bard named Vic Valentine.
Okay, so we have a bunch of stuff going on, including some stuff I'm guilty of. But thank you, Dave, for the massive amount of subscriptions that you just sent around to the community. We appreciate it, and I'm sure they will appreciate it as well. And now we'll listen to some Ric Flair.
I'm just glad it's the short version.
Yeah. Okay, so we are on 103% of a level 5 hype train, which this is now turning into like
Now it just goes up as to
And it's the
the
final
highest
level.
percentage we
this
want.
this is pretty much like Snowpiercer, the plot of Snowpiercer right here. So okay, so let's get to this plan. So the Diggermatics, the two leaders of Blingden Stone, or sort of de facto leaders of Blingden Stone, they have they go by the names Dorbo and Seni, and it's Seni who's come up with this plan and who has assembled quite a few people around. And so you have to ask for some assistance in figuring out all of who's around, because you haven't met necessarily everyone. But you do see Chipgrin, who is the were-rat that you met and tried to negotiate some sort of truce between the city and the were-rat community just outside the walls. You see let me get there. You see someone who's mentioned by name as Nomi Path Shudder, and she's one of the wranglers of earth elementals that helps dig out the mines to find the spell gems. You see Kazuk Pickshine, who is an alchemist. I mentioned Chipgrin. You met someone you do know, the Burrow Warden Jadger. He's there, as well as most of the community is around. I'm about to sneeze, so excuse me. Most of the community is around, and so Seni sort of starts to let out a cough, and the assembled group gets pretty excited, and they quiet down very quickly. And she says, I thank you for all coming. As you know, the the problems outside our gates to the northeast get worse and worse. We have a significant amount of information that suggests that there is an individual who might be out there as well, besides these slimes that seem to keep growing and growing at to the northeast. And if you'll allow me to explain just a minute, I don't think we need to fight all the oozes. I have a plan. And she comes sort of towards you. Her and her husband's desks are in this little raised area of they face each other. She sort of steps down into the crowd and she sort of spreads them out. And she has a rolled piece of paper in her hands. And she unfurls it, and you see it's a map of the entire city, which I will now reveal to you. Give me 1 second. Okay, so you guys can all see it.
Yep.
Oh,
So, and she has a little pointer, and she says, she starts to draw. She says, our main gates are here. You might be able to see here, and here. Oh, there's one here too. Sorry.
gates.
Yeah, I think that's all of them. And she says, my plan is pretty simple. If a large force comes through here and distracts the oozes through these gates, another smaller force can move through these gates here, up through this area, and take them by surprise. Our goal is, if we can take out this individual who seems to be commanding the oozes themselves aren't particularly intelligent, and once they no longer have his influence, I believe they'll just go away. And you hear a lot of like murmuring in the crowd. You hear people being like, but my child died of an ooze. And a lot of convincing is going on. It doesn't seem to be a lot of support for this plan, let's say. And she says, Dorbo steps up and he says, I understand everyone has their concerns, but I think together we can do this. And we gnomes work best when we work together. And thankfully we have others to help us. And he points to the group of you, including your companions, Eldeth and Darendel. And he says, there's a number of things we'll need to tackle first if we're to be successful. And someone in the crowd who you hold on 1 minute. Someone in the crowd, I'm looking for number 22. Says, yeah, well, we'll need to clean the temple because I don't understand how you're going to go through the temple in order to get to this area. The whole place is blocked off. And you hear a lot of murmuring. And what they are pointing out is this area here. This is a temple, this area. And this is a rock. They intentionally collapsed the rock to as they were sort of growing the city, and they were slowly growing growing out into the city. And that was one of their intentional rock slides. This area, which you guys traveled in down here. Sorry, I feel like John Madden. This area, you guys traveled in. You did a small task last time. And that is the next area to be annexed to the city. And so hold on a second. Someone, sort of a kooky old fellow with a long gnomish beard, and sort of acid burns all over his hands and a few on his face, walks up, and you hear a whispering from the crowd, and this is Kazook Pickshine of the Miners Guild. And he says, how do you plan to get through? My people, it'll take days, if not weeks, to get through that rock slide. We intentionally brought it down so that we would remove it when we were ready, but we can't do that speedily. And I apologize that I'm giving you all these names for people you haven't met. But one of his sort of apprentices runs up behind him and he whispers something in his ear, and you see Kazook turn back around and like look in disbelief and go like grumble. And you see the apprentice nod. And Kazook says, if the temple were cleared, my alchemists may be able to dissolve that rock very quickly. Very, very quickly. It's a bit experimental, but that's what we do best in the mines. And you hear some murmur. This seems to have, the mining guild seems to have a lot more credibility about this, and so slowly as pieces are falling into place of this plan, you feel more and more community buy-in amongst the gnomes. So for instance, someone suggests, well, when we attack them with our weapons, the oozes just eat away the metal and our armor. And someone suggests like, oh, I think one of the alchemists is like, I think we could probably make an oil for that. And slowly there's all these little obstacles that get presented in sort of a community forum type, and then they get sort of at least a proposed solution, whether or not it'll work or not. And so we'll talk about those in a little metagaming sense. So hold on just one second. Nomi Path Shudder, who is one of the wranglers of the earth elementals, she says that for the battle itself, you could bring earth elementals. Like the earth elementals are normally used to mine, but there's no reason that we couldn't use them to fight against the oozes themselves. However, other people, including Nomi, say they don't know the effectiveness of this because they talk about something called Ogre Mock's Bane, which is some sort of malevolent force which occasionally causes her trouble when she's trying to control earth elementals. Like it occasionally wrests control from her. So
it's bad weather, or it's a tool someone has.
It's a something. It's an entity of some kind. And if it could be found and removed, that would help secure the earth elementals. So that's one
problem. It's a localized problem, like it's a thing. If we go in area X, that's where the problem is. So
it's unclear where it is. Like you'd have to find it. So that's one. The Gold Whisker clan, so Tripgrin, they have basically been left out. He's sitting there, but they've been left out of this whole plan. And Chipgrin finally sort of steps up and says, no offense to you gnomes, but my people, they live on the outside. We deal with these oozes all the time. We would be happy to lead the concentrated assault, the big force, to distract the others so that they could sneak in. But we wish to be part of your city. We wish that area to the northwest, the Gold Whisker Warrens, become ours, and that we are given rights within the city. And the minute, like, you hear people like spitting in disgust as this is said, right? And you hear some pretty sort of terms of hatred sort of spat out at the were-rats, that they're dirty and they bring filth into the city and things like that. So a possible second thing would be convincing them of that. So Ogremok, Spain, securing a home for the Gold Whiskers. A third is that oil that protects the weapons. In order to make that, as it turns out, there's some ingredients that are not present here, which will need to be sought out and found. And that may take days, in fact, based on everything you know.
Sounds like that's not going to be ready in time for us to do this event. It takes days.
Well, there's no pressure. There's no time pressure for you, like, unless you waited months, right? It's not like an attack is imminent. You guys are suggesting, or Senny is suggesting, that you guys take the attack to whoever this creature is out that seems to be commanding these uses. So potentially there is time. Doesn't mean things wouldn't happen in the meantime, but potentially that is something that could happen, right? Is to take the time to recover those. So there's three. A fourth thing is the temple itself needs to be cleared. And you guys know that near that was perhaps a Medusa, or there was something over there that was problematic in that area. You had heard about it earlier in our last session. And then cleansing the temple itself is its own, and there's a process for that. Let's see.
What was the complication with Chipgrin and the were-rats? Is it that the people aren't really wanting to cooperate, or that they're asking for some assistance to clear out the area that they want to control up in the...
So the were-rats have cleared that area out.
Okay.
Right? But Senny and Dorbo had talked to you well before, and Senny and Dorbo seem convinced, but now it's a matter of the community, sort of embracing that. Senny and Dorbo would not be able to convince the community that that section of the city should remain for the were-rats. That section of the city is scheduled to be added to Blinkton Stone proper, and the were-rats are meant to be driven out. And so what Chipgrin is saying is, look, we'll fight your dirty fight for you. We'll be on the front lines because we have the most experience, but you no longer have a claim to that. And we're part of your city. We get representation. We get, that whole idea of being an equal citizen inside the city. Let me see if there's other little things to do. There's the oil, the steadfast stone, which is the temple. Finding Entomoc's boon, not Bane, I apologize. And let me tell you a little bit about Entomoc's boon. From what you can tell of Entomoc's boon was an area that was well known, although secret, when Blinkton Stone existed. it was kept secret from everyone else specifically because it is a place where the strength of summoned earth elementals is much greater than normal. And so the old Blingden Stone under the old city, it was largely powered by earth elementals, mining, like building of the structures. Earth elementals did all that, summoned earth elementals. And so if the circle that was used inside Entomoc's boon could be found again, it would make stronger earth elementals that perhaps would fight against this malevolent force, whatever it is. So sorry, I confused that a little bit. Entomoc's boon is the circle, and then there's a malevolent force, which doesn't have a name. I just conflated them. And so it doesn't mean all or one thing, but depending on the plan amongst your group, as you're talking with Darendil and Eldeth, Darendil and Eldeth volunteer that they would, if you wanted them to, and if you were willing to take the time, they would go about trying to find the materials for the oil, which would sort of loosen your hands on one thing.
I wonder if perhaps we should attempt to have some of the were-rats assist in each of these endeavors to engender some feelings of generosity toward them.
That's smart.
I was thinking the exact same thing, Jason. I think that would be an excellent suggestion.
Perhaps if a small group of the were-rats would accompany Eldeth and Darendil on that, they could return, and if the were-rats were to provide the items for the oil, that could help a bit in making them look a bit more, make the city look on them more favorably.
Ah,
I'm assuming you guys are talking in your small group. So if you want anyone added to it, let me know.
smart plan.
Maybe we could bring Chipgrin into this, because right now he's being very forceful about what their demands are, but maybe kind of more, it sounds like what you're suggesting, Jason, is more of a soft approach, have them kind of build that favor, and then maybe
And then ask
his
again.
demands won't be so fall on cold ears.
And perhaps we are looked on as we're looked on very favorably here. We've done some good deeds for the city. We've not asked for much in return. Perhaps Chipgrin being seen with us in conversation will help in that endeavor as well.
You guys do have a, I actually do not remember why, but you guys do have a free advantage on a group, your next group charisma check, so you know. I think it was because you helped the borough warden.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure that's why it was.
I think that's
don't
right.
know if- yeah.
Be that as it may, we are still, foreigners to this community. I think perhaps maybe we should discuss this with some of the community leaders. It seems that perhaps Sunny and her partner, and even perhaps Jedgar, may be more amenable to this idea of having Chipgrin and his were-rats integrated into this community. If the community sees that their leaders are open to this possibility, then perhaps this will be a more easier time.
Do you think that we start with that, or do we start with asking Chipgrin to help with some tasks?
Well, I don't see why we can't do both.
Well, it just occurred to me that if we, the leaders may be more aware of what the were-rats contribute. And so if we were to have the were-rats start with their contributions, and then we approach them about, look at all the good they've already done.
Only question, do we bring up idea, make were-rats part of each group, or do we let were-rats volunteer?
Well, I would imagine it would have to be a volunteer basis.
But it's their idea, not us.
Well, yeah, ultimately it is their decision. Is it not?
But I understand what you're saying, Drazzle, that we should not mention it to the leaders. We should allow the were-rats to offer it freely.
And then we support idea.
Yes, of course. But we must discuss this with Chipgrin.
Agreed.
He's nearby, and no one is talking to him. So
Yeah, I'll just
you are
flag him
basically
over.
his only friends.
I'll flag him over.
All right. And just to clarify, Senny and Dorbo, when you talked to them about this before with Chipgrin, they're not the ones. They are the more easily convinced, but they're not going to go against the population,
Mhm.
right? Like that's so.
Right. But they are like de facto leaders.
Right, and they understand. They probably understand the argument that Chipgrin's putting together just fine. The question is now how can the community be brought to think that this is a decent idea, right?
Mhm.
Because Chipgrin's going to want some like real assurances that this is going to happen if they're going to put some of their people in danger.
Of course he would.
But yeah, he's happy. Like the minute you all make eye contact with him, he's like he's like,
Now, they did offer that you could have brought someone with you. You would have had someone to talk to.
oh, yeah, but I also didn't know if this would be a trap, so I'm sort of relying on you to make sure that none of these guys try to skin me alive while I'm here.
They don't do that with me, Round.
Because Drazzle's hide is worth more than yours.
I bite. You
I'm,
bite too, yes?
I'm willing to like as I said, everything I said is honest. I'm willing to lead my people on the front lines because I recognize that this is a problem for both communities.
And we are grateful for that.
But I'm not going to have my community get decimated only to have these gnomes then take advantage of the fact that we're weakened and push us out.
Of course, you're looking for assurances. This is a natural desire for a leader such as yourself. We do have a possible idea for you.
I'm all ears, and he.
I just look over at Jason.
It occurred to us that while the community currently sees you as your people as something of a pariah, we may be able to alleviate that if your people were to provide some of these, some assistance in the tasks that are being volunteered. And this is the part that may be difficult, if your people were to volunteer some of it.
So, like, sort of tried to help out with the parts of this plan.
Help out with the early parts, so that we can then ask again about for the big ask.
I don't. I'll be honest. I think we in the Gold Whisker Warrens are a bit more pragmatic about this threat than they're a bit isolated down here, or intentionally isolated. He says. I don't. My people have intentionally not. We don't try to make more of ourselves. We don't hunt in the night and turn these gnomes into more of us.
Maybe that's what they need to see. They need to see you in partnership with them, not dispel their fears. They're fearful of you.
I agree completely. I was just not very eloquently saying my people are willing to help. That's not the problem. It is the others sometimes who might be the concern. But I offer my people to you. You have already done your best to help us secure a place in the city.
Well, as an initial ask, our friends Darendel and Eldath here, and I'll introduce them,
Mhm.
Are offering to undertake the collection of the reagents for this oil the alchemists want to make. We were considering asking if your people might instead volunteer to do it with Eldath and Darendel's assistance, which I'm sure that they will offer after you've offered to collect it. But if it were to be provided by your people, it may go further in creating a favorable outlook.
And how many do you think should go?
Well, you may know better than I, as you're familiar with this area.
Um,
I think the important thing is that you offer to do it and fulfill your
Right.
offer.
He says, very well. And he turns away kind of abruptly. And you see him sort of like he's in his completely, not hybrid, in his completely humanoid form. But as you see him walk towards Senny and Dorbo, you really do see him sort of walk like a rat. It's not a straight line. It's avoiding people as it gets straight up to.
And what species is his?
And he was a gnome.
Okay.
Yeah, all of them are gnome were-rats.
Okay.
Maybe you saw a few others, but the good majority. And
deep gnome specifically.
right. You see sort of both Senny and not probably Dorbo more sort of tense up as he sees him approaching. But Senny does honestly let out a smile as he approaches. And you see them talking, and Senny nods. Dorbo looks a little more hesitant about what's being said. They all shake hands at the end of the short conversation. And he
social distancing, we don't do that.
And he walks back and he says to you, and he says, I've offered 10 of my people, 10 of my best. They will go and they will find this, and we will make plans to leave tomorrow. And Eldath and Darendel both offer, and he says that would be very wise if you came, because as I understand it, we are going to visit those you may already know. And Darendel, all of you are a little shocked by this. And he says the oil, apparently the best source of this oil is the myconids.
Oh.
And Eldeth looks a little surprised, and she says, well, we can't go back to the Neverlit Grove. But perhaps we can contact Rasharu and Basidia. And you see Eldeth wander over to one of the gnomes, who one of the mages who deals with the spell gems of the city. And you see her have a quick conversation, and you overhear sort of enough of a description to know that they're talking about whether or not a sending spell could be used to contact them.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some, maybe not prepared today, but the sort of thing like, yes, there might be something able to be done to coordinate how to find them, because you don't necessarily know, like you sort of know where they are, but not exactly. And so to speed up the process. And Eldeth comes over and she says, she turns to Chipgrin and to you, and she says, then we leave first thing in the morning.
That's good.
Where rats see at night?
Sorry?
Where rats see at night?
Yes.
Well, there's no light anywhere, so
Get early start.
The sending spell can't. They don't know where to go. Someone needs to prepare the spell to contact Basidia
Yeah, they need a
in
long
order
rest.
to where the grove is, etc. There's not. So they'll leave in the morning. And they Darendil and Eldeth sort of walk out with Chipgrin to have this discussion about plans and what needs to be done before they leave, unless you're going to stop them. But that's I don't know how to like as the this is part of the tasks that needs to be done. I mean, it doesn't need to be done, but weapons could potentially get eaten away in the middle of the battle. And so, it seemed weird for me as the DM to send you backwards. And so I was trying to figure out a good way for you to procure the oil from the myconoids without. So, and they seemed like good helpers. But Chipgrin will be back to talk to you guys. He's not one of the ones who's going. So the group around you is sort of dispersing, but some of the key figures are still around. Is there something you guys wanted to talk to about one of those other tasks? Do you want me to review them?
Yeah, if we could have a real quick relist.
So
there's the weapons one that's getting taken care of. We have
the weapon one. You need to find the summoning stone for the earth elementals, or the summoning circle, the Entomok spoon. Cleanse the temple, and then the only real other one is this somewhat longer term is convince the city to accept the were-rats. Those are like, so there's you actually accomplished one of them, just so you know. The doing the stuff for the barrow warden would have been on the list if you hadn't done it already. You don't, there's no requirement to do them all, just so you know. Like they are willing to start the battle when you want them to, but there would be
thanks for the raid. I'm Butterby.
Doing or not doing them.
Sure.
Thanks for the raid, everybody.
Oh,
Thanks,
who
Homebrew Cafe. Butterby welcomes you to the stream.
Welcome, guys. Thank you for watching Out of the Abyss with us. We are just sort of making preparations like good deep gnomes for a giant battle against some sort of creature called the Pudding King.
Whoa, thanks for the jams, man.
And I didn't mention it to you, Corey, but you got purchased another DM reroll.
Oh, nice.
Earlier.
Okay. Well, the Pudding King thanks you as he intends to assimilate these fine characters into his pudding army. Next game, we can decide which flavors of Jello you'll each be when the boosters eat you.
Nice.
So yeah, what would you like to? I mean, you could do anything else too, particularly if you wanted to do something to help support the were-rats. But the one that has to be done is the cleansing of the temple.
I think temple. This is temple, an area we went before with.
It's you went to the general area around it, but you haven't been in it.
But we know this is familiar.
A little bit. That the cleansing the temple is one I think we can accomplish. I'm also intrigued by finding this summoning circle.
We know
like a
where
good
that is?
mystery. No, that's part of the task.
So maybe we find by other thing.
Would we even know where to begin to find this circle?
We don't, which makes it even more exciting.
If certainly the person to talk to would be the earth elemental handler, Nomi Pathshudder. Nomi. Nomi. Nomi is here, like she was pointed out to you earlier. But if you don't want to talk to her now, I can let you know where she's going to be. Sort of, she's in the mines most of the time, so she's so.
Well, maybe
Yeah,
we
I
can
say we talk to
handle
her now
this-
while she's here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Nomi is she she says I'm very sorry. I didn't know. I didn't have the chance to meet you yet, but I hear from Durbo and Seni that you've been already so useful. How can I help you? Or why
Well,
would you? Yes.
I'm interested in this mystery of this the summoning circle.
Entomox Boon. We haven't seen it in centuries. And like I said, when I summon an earth elemental now, something is back at home. If I summon an earth elemental, it stays for a day, but here, just maybe an hour or so.
When did this start?
Only it's always been, but only in this area. Like and I think if we find Entomox Boon, if it still exists, then
What can you tell us about it?
Well,
It's a circle of some kind, yes?
it's a cavern, but in the cavern is a summoning circle, and it may be a weakened area between here and the elemental plane of Earth. I don't know. I've only heard stories, but it was well known.
Do your stories give any hints as to where you might start looking?
A bit, yes. West of the city. It was there. It was always described there, a little bit away from the mines themselves. But I'm afraid that all my efforts to find it have failed. Would you attempt to find it? It would.
Well, I have a difficult time shying away from a good mystery.
I would be.
To be of assistance. It's just simply
You
there's not
think-
much to go off of.
you think you know something, but you know a fountain. Why would we be better than you who know more?
Well, I'll be perfectly honest. I've never wandered through the Underdark by myself for hundreds of miles. You have, and somehow you're here, which, to give yourself credit, that's no small feat.
Right.
Most people just die.
You mentioned that this boon is in a planar sense close to the plane of Earth. Yes.
Yes, the legends say that many centuries ago, the circle was actually used to draw here one of the princes of elemental Earth, and his presence in the cavern infused it with elemental magic.
Fascinating. Well, perhaps if you summoned one of your Earth elementals, would your Earth elemental feel a natural affinity for this location? Would it be close to their plane of origin? Would it not?
I've tried something similar, but it doesn't seem to. It is very strange. I don't know. Um, and she's sort of struggling for how to describe it, but um, she comes up with not really knowing what a horse is, but she comes up with an analogy that's similar to, and I can't think of a good Underdark equivalent of a horse. She comes up with an analogy of like trying to tame a bronco, right? And she this is not how things work when she's away from the city. And now whenever they're near anywhere in here, things just go wacky. And so she says they seem, when she loses control, she suspects that whatever this entity is actually has control momentarily. And then she's able to get it back. Like, not that the elemental is acting on its own. And so it's not clear any of her attempts to do things like find Entomoc's boon or to find the entity. It seems like something is stopping that from happening. And that's when she says something else takes control of this creature, and then it stops. So I'm at a loss for words for describing elemental summoning magics right now. She says, I would be happy to lead you to, I mean, it is the rough area where I suspect maybe it's not there. I don't know.
What make it rough there? What is danger that you know?
Just nothing in particular. Just it's not a place I would go by myself, as I said, or even with a small group. There are all sorts of dangers in the Underdark.
Think we should take Murat with us?
I think it certainly can't hurt. I think the important thing is others seeing the were-rats helping.
Great. If Chiprin is willing to help.
Do we want to do this, or do we want to cleanse the temple first?
Well, we cleanse the temple, then what happened in temple?
The temple needs to be cleansed because the rock formation that they want to attack through, that they want to sneak through, is inside the temple.
Yes. But if we get elemental, we can do any plan. If we get temple clear and no elementals, then maybe it's worthless.
Well, I think the temple needs to be cleared regardless. That's an essential part of the plan. The others are bonuses.
Of that plan, if we have time, but I think we get the elemental no matter what happened. Surprise attack by enemy, we have better chance.
Well, I think we might have a possibility of doing both these things, but if clearing the temple is essential for the plan, and the other is more of a bonus that might give us a boon, maybe it's important to get the essential part done and allow the alchemists and the miners enough time to dispense their elixirs or whatnot to dissolve that rock.
That's my thought too. I agree.
I'd offer that we would take out a Medusa for them. So
We should be
Yeah,
good.
we might all end up petrified, and then we don't have to worry about the other thing because,
nonsense.
Yes, but Victor, he's such a handsome statue.
Yeah.
You usually more optimistic, Vic.
Oh, it's just a little joke, little, fatalism, then goes a long way, lightening up the mood.
We're so close to getting up topside, so I think we can afford a little humor.
So we go kill Medusa.
Yes, onward.
Okay. So your plan is to go to the temple.
Find a clockwork
Yes.
owl.
Everyone, polish your shields.
Is there anything you are doing before you leave?
I'm asking, anyone know how to fight Snakehead Woman?
Yeah, how much knowledge is like common fighting a Medusa?
Let's see.
They know who has gone in and lived, maybe. Maybe she know kill everyone.
Do they sell mirror shields?
Yeah.
1 second. Um, uh, that is most of what you learn, even with a base, like with the basic Arcana check, is exactly what you're saying. Is that amongst the group, the idea is that those who have gone into that area of the city and survived, they have intentionally used, there are crystals in the wall that reflect, there are mirrors, things like that. They've basically used that. No one's really attacked her. They've just gotten away, but used those to figure out where she is as they're trying to get away.
So looking at her through a reflection, not dangerous.
Correct.
Okay.
Seems to be fine because people claim they've done it.
There's some thrill seeker gnomes out there trying to get in close and see what works.
What about looking through like a lens, like glass?
Not clear. No one's tried it. Well, I'm sorry. No one who's come back has tried it. It's not clear if someone has tried it and it didn't work.
Well, would it be possible to procure like a hand mirror or something like that?
Yeah,
You just have to wear glasses and you're totally safe.
Well, that's just what I'm asking, because I wear spectacles. You're telling me none of the other deep gnomes who went after her had myopia?
Out of a different language's alphabet for a minute. Yeah, so it would be the basic rules, which I think mirrors an adventurer's guide from the very old days. Mirror. Steel mirror is 5 gold pieces.
5 gold. Okay.
They'll give it to you for half. So since it's helping the city.
Oh,
I get it at cost.
But as you Senny and Dorbo come over and they hear you talking about this cleansing the temple, and they encourage you to talk to Gurnik Tapfinger. I think you guys have met Gurnik. Yeah. So maybe you have that. Hold on. Where's 13? I don't remember. I think it was Jasa who wandered around the city one day and found the woman who was singing to the stones.
I was Dolphix.
Dolphix, okay. So I think at a certain point I accidentally put you in a certain area that's here, but you were really here, and I think I fixed that. But basically, there is a religious center, and it's nearby to where you guys are now. And he, Gurnik Tapfinger, who's the head priest of the Kalarduran Smooth Hands, he's the one to talk to. The temple that you're going to is a temple of Kalarduran. And so you would be like, he knows the process of actually cleansing the temple. And to clarify just a little bit, Medusa not necessarily in the temple, just in that area. Cleansing temple, another part of that.
And do we know any cure for what she do?
High level magic.
Should we go talk to this priest then?
Right. So you guys head over to a place called Speaking Stones, and you see actually in this area, which is the area I'm going to move for you there. It's here actually. So if you can see that. It's actually a circle of stone menhirs, and inside is a grizzled old man, and he's walking with a little cane, and he sees you and he says, "Ah ha ha! The adventurers have finally come. Welcome." And he turns to one of the menhirs, the standing stones, and he says, "Topomatics, we have guests." So he's standing sort of in the middle of these stones, and you're standing on the outside.
Stones respond to him?
Oh, no. They do not respond to him, as far as you know.
Okay, I step through the stones.
There's nothing special about it, but you do feel, those of you who have any sort of magical ability as you step through, you do feel like an unusual resonance, like something that very intangible, but something those of you who can use magic would have some sort of sense about. That something inside the stones is slightly different. And he says, to what do I owe this this honor?
Well, I don't know that it's an honor, but we are considering undertaking the cleansing of the temple.
I see. Well, I see. And he turns to another one of the stones and he's like, "Do you hear that, Aratu? They're gonna cleanse your brethren."
Who he talked to?
And he points at the stone. He looks at you and he says, I swear, it's not very complicated." And he explains that all you have to do, and he goes over to a small chest, and he says, and you see those of you who have any ability with magic items or any knowledge of like common but powerful magic items, you see he takes out a ruby spellstone, and he says, once you get to the temple, all you need to do is place the gem inside the steadfast stone's menhir. The gem will do the rest.
Is the steadfast stone easily recognizable?
It looks a little bit like this here.
Are
so
there other stones that might be mistaken for?
No, I think you'll also see. Let me just make sure of this. It's unlike this. It's just a single menhir, and it's pretty obvious it was once a stalagmite, but we've carved it down to be sort of the center of that temple. there are pockmarks all over it that you might leave an offering. For instance, this ruby. This ruby will sanctify the area and make it safe for the rest of us.
For the rest of us. It seemed not like all of us.
So
For those
this-
who are not adventurers, I think.
Those who are not in there already.
For the general populace.
Yes, to make it a temple once more. These standing stones were merely a place to ask the gods questions, whereas that was more of a central area of worship. It would be good to worship there once more.
I would be happy to do this.
Excellent, excellent. And he hands you Dolphix. He hands you this this ruby.
Okay.
And it like emanates a real feeling of like divine peace. Like you can feel it coming out of the ruby.
Okay. When no one's looking, Dolphix is gonna put the ruby up to his ear.
Make me a perception check.
Okay.
I want to see if I notice this when I'm not supposed to.
I better hear something.
So, Dolphix, you hear something, and at first it takes you a really, really sort of long time to identify what it is, and you're not sure you have it identified exactly, but it sounds to you like the moving of continents. Like it sounds like the earth moving inside of itself.
Oh.
Not like an earthquake,
Right.
but more like something very peaceful, very natural. And so it's almost like the ocean, but earth.
It's natural motion.
Right. And as you have it next to your hand, like it really is like you feel very much at peace, very protected, like that just this aura is coming off the gem itself.
Okay. I am going to pocket it.
Good. If you really want to be secretive, you can roll that sleight of hand if Jason noticed you do this.
Jason noticed me do it. It's
Sorry.
Yeah, there's just a shadow over his face, and he just goes Gollum for a second.
All right. Any other preparations? Your guys are buying mirrors.
Mirrors. Yeah.
Right.
Everyone bought a mirror? I'm gonna
Easy
buy a
enough
mirror.
to do.
Sure. Buy a mirror.
So 2.5.
2.5 gold.
So yeah, so 10 if someone wants to take it all for everyone. No problem to get mirrors. He is Gurnik is aware of the Medusa, or the stories of the Medusa is probably the better way. He says let's see. Let me just make sure I'm looking at these places right.
Steel mirror description explicitly says you can use it to keep an eye on a Medusa.
Does it? I didn't know that. So he actually says, he says, I've been to the Steadfast Stone, and while I see evidence that the Medusa has been around, she hasn't exactly, like, I haven't run into her. So if she still exists, I don't know. others have seen her and lived to tell the tale. But it's possible that you can move through there without ever encountering her, is all I'd say.
That would be a first.
That sounds like a plan.
This may be very, very simple then.
He says he goes over and pats the stone. And he says, I would only caution you. Caladoran, he is our god of stone and our god of mining. And like these around, or he points to the circle of menhirs around you, and he says, he has many followers, not just those of us who have 4 arms and 2 arms and 2 legs. Sorry, different worlds completely. 2 arms and 2 legs. And so don't assume that anything that is rock is trying to kill you. His followers may appear if they are summoned by that gem.
And they may be looking to assist?
More likely they're looking to defend the temple. But perhaps. I do not say I know the mind of our God. Just I do what he wishes.
What is gift for your God?
Can all of you make a perception check real quick? So Drazel, as you ask that, and as you are like looking at the stones that he keeps talking about, you swear that in one, you see a face looking at you. And then as you look more and more, you swear you actually see it in 2. It's not moving, but it looks like the men here in front of you, 2 of them, have a face.
Man, I see face in stone. This is your God in stone? These are his people?
Well, it's just some of his followers.
They understand me talk?
Or they were his followers. Stone is sometimes sits still for a very long time. It's hard to know what it's doing.
They know my word language?
I don't know. Let me see the other roles. Yeah, I'd say for the others of you, as Drazel sort of was pointing out this face, you would say it's hit or miss. Like you can see where someone would say that's a face, but whether or not you think it's a face is questionable.
Yeah, I could see how you might think that's a face, Drazel. There's the 2 little eyes there, and
well, you know, the sentient mind is trained to see faces everywhere. Sort of
I saw a
second
face
nature.
on a tree once.
I see face on stone. We talk to God who have stone people follow. I think God will know we coming. We will find more like this. Allies.
Well, I hope you're right.
I will talk to all stones now. Do not be rude.
Okay. Ed, do you need to take a break in like 30 minutes?
Nope.
Got it. All right. Okay. So is there any other preparations you want to make before you head into this area of the city that you were in once already? Nope. Okay. So let us move into that. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so I can see you. You're going to go through the gates that they're going to open for you are going to be the ones down here. They do give you your choice. Do you want to go through the northeast gate or the southeast gate? You last time went through the northeast.
Well,
I see.
northeast is closer, right?
Yeah, so you're going, sorry if I erased it, but this is the steadfast, yeah.
Yeah.
So okay. All right, so they open the gate. The same individual, the head of the guards, who was sort of surly with you last time, opens the gates just an inch and closes them right behind you. And to remind you, could someone roll me? Hi, Sophie. Yes, thank you for the licks. Sorry, my dog is under the desk. Can someone roll a d20?
I'll do it.
Ooh, sure, low's good.
Okay. So let me tell you what you guys are seeing around here. We talked about last time. So every step, like as you step on the floor, if you're not trying to really hide it, your steps just echo, and they echo well past what your dark vision is and what your light is. The air here is cold and damp, and you hear that waterfall to the southeast that you saw on the map. I believe we said last time that the house you went into was like somewhere around. Yeah, the house you went in.
Did we go in here far enough to go into a house? I thought we went in and then like immediately backpedaled.
Yeah.
No, remember you fought that ghost.
Yeah.
That was in here.
That was
Yeah,
in
that
here,
was in
wasn't
here.
it?
That was
Was
in
it
here.
like up here? or something?
So that's how far you got, and then run away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We got what we needed and ran quickly.
Now we must press forward.
yeah, which way do you want to go? You know, like I'm sure one of you took a little like rough map. So are you going to that to the northeast passage, or are you going down following the sound of the waterfall?
Well, ultimately we need to get to that temple, but before we go too far, I'd like to take a moment to just sort of listen to the whole area. And maybe if I can get accustomed to it, I might be able to hear something coming toward us.
Make me a
So I'm going to like close my eyes and try to focus on listening and try to get everybody else to be quiet for a little bit while I do that.
Perception check, please.
Oh, I'm going to use a reroll.
Good. Better. So as you are listening, the first thing is that you realize, like initially your ears are just hearing the waterfall, and you actually, the waterfall must be pretty big actually.
Mm-hmm.
Because it really is, it does a good job of filling the space with white noise. But then in addition to the waterfall, you can also hear just water dripping occasionally in other places, and you start to be able to distinguish the sounds between, basically you start to be able to tune out the white noise, so you can hear other things. And while you hear nothing in particular at the moment, like you do realize that might be useful later, the fact that the sound of the waterfall isn't sort of dominating your perception.
And that was kind of my goal, was to be like accustom myself to the sounds here, so anything different would stand out.
Okay. What are you doing, Sophie? Hi. Sorry. Okay. Where to?
Do we
Do
go
you think we
straight?
go direct to the temple?
I think
I don't
yes.
see why not.
All right then.
All right. So you guys are headed to that stairwell to the northeast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a sort of marching order amongst you?
Well, I can't see anything, so I probably won't go first. I'll stay in Drazel's light.
Okay.
Now, I think that is who can go without light. Okay.
I think everyone but Jason. Right. I can stay in the back.
Well, in that case, if you can all see in the dark, why don't you cast your light on something that I can carry, and I can hide it when I don't need it?
I can no see in dark.
Oh, well.
Oh, well, there you go.
I can lead us, and maybe like lead off a little bit, such that I could like signal back to turn off the light if I notice something.
Yeah, why don't you do that? And then I'll follow behind, but with Jason and Drazel, so that if they need to remove the light, I can still.
And I'll be
Yeah,
listening. I'll signal if I hear anything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Vic, you get to the base of where, like, as you're fumbling, it's still, I mean, what's this? The scale is pretty big, right? Actually, let's see, the scale actually works on this thing. So, like, as you wander through this area, it's like 150 feet, so it's fair bit. Well, you get to the bottom of these stairs, and as you look up, you can see at the top of the stairs there seems to be light, very, very faint light, which very much reminds you of the fungus you saw throughout the Underdark, the like bioluminescent fungus. There's none around where you are right now, but it looks like at the top of the stairs there might be a fair bit.
So I'll signal back to Dolphix that I see something, and I'll signal to like stop, for them to stop, and I want to creep ahead to kind of see into this area where this illuminescence is.
Okay. Are you doing so with the intent of being sneaky, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay. Make me a quick stealth check. I'm assuming that you're going as far enough as you need to be able to see into the area.
Just enough to see, yeah.
Right. Right. So as you you're about halfway up the stairs, maybe. And you can see, you do see, first your eyes see sort of the walls being covered and by this bioluminescent fungus. So you start to see the grooves in the walls and whatnot. But then you start to see points of light in the walls as well. Like, whereas it's not, like the bioluminescent light is really dull, right? But within that, suddenly you're seeing like pinpoints of light on the walls. And as you get a little bit higher, you actually see the pinpoint of light on the ground too. And you realize that there are all different sizes of crystals everywhere around this room, like jutting out of the wall, jutting out of the floor. And the pinpoints of light you're seeing is where there are enough lights collecting to refract it. Quite pretty. You do not see any movement. Like, you don't see anything going on in there except this pinpoint of light.
I'll then wordlessly go back and motion that thing. We can all collect ourselves here, and then I'm gonna take a closer look at one of these pinpricks of light, and I guess I'm just kind of checking out what is this exactly made of, whether it's crystal, is it a gemstone, or kind of trying to figure out what type of material this room is composed
Right.
of.
Okay, so you get you're going a little further up the stairs then, if I'm understanding you.
Yeah,
correctly.
not seeing anybody in the chamber. Once
Okay.
everybody else is filed
What
up here, well, feel
are-
free to enter
Who
the chamber.
are you all up at the top of the stairs now? Is that what?
I'm staying in the light, so it'll be up to where Drazzle goes.
Okay. And are you all trying to be sneaky?
I think so.
Okay. Please all make stealth checks for me. All right. So we'll put you around all of you guys up here. Okay. So they don't look like gems. They look like just crystals, like things you wouldn't. They're pretty, but not maybe useful for engineering, things like that, but not necessarily for monetary value. And as you're looking around, you suddenly see a humanoid figure in the distance behind one of the crystals, sort of across the room.
Yeah, I take out my mirror.
Yeah,
Like
I think
immediately.
I'm assuming
Same.
you all had them sort of like you knew this was right. All right.
Mhm.
I'm gonna close my eyes.
Right. As you are watching this, you don't see any movement on the other side of the room. You see the figure, but it doesn't seem to be moving.
It's a figure that we can recognize, like humanoid.
It's humanoid. You can see that much from here.
But not moving.
Not moving.
What could you describe just what that is to our right? Is it a depression with
Oh yeah, if I can explain some of this. This map is a little weird. So this area, oops, sorry, let me get a good one. This area here in there is actually what you get if you go down there.
Alright.
So it's like the under area. And it should
So
be
that-
obvious from there.
That whole shaded area is what's underground.
Yeah, basically. Right.
Okay.
It's not perfect, but that's the whole area is probably really like this, but that area doesn't extend on the surface level,
hmm
if that makes any sense. And then the opposite's happening here, down near the waterfall. That's above the rest of the area. Super confusing map, but yes, that's what it's.
Yeah, that's not how section cuts work.
Yeah.
Or,
so moving to the right, we'd be moving over something.
Yeah, this like moving directly east of Vic is just, there might be a little bit of distance like up and down, but it's not a whole.
Okay.
You can walk across that area. You wouldn't be able to walk into this yellow shaded region without going downstairs. That doesn't exist on this level that you're standing on.
With my mirror out, I want to
Mhm.
start walking backwards towards that figure. I'm suspicious that it might be one of the Medusa's victims, but I want to get close enough that I could maybe confirm that.
We'll sort of put it here. Did you saw where that I put that, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, there's the number of the room is on top of it on my layer, so I don't know if it's not obvious to me. Okay. So as you approach it, you takes a little while to sort of get used to a mirror and walking through. You see a statue of a gnome clearly cowering behind this group of crystals that have grown out. And the crystals, some of the crystals in the room are as big as a gnome, right? And it's behind a fairly big set of crystals. And in its hand, it has a broken crystal. The broken crystal has not petrified, just the entire thing around, like all of the gnome has.
Is the gnome wearing spectacles?
The gnome is not wearing spectacles.
Important to check though.
My theory is yet on.
Although, are you going over there, or like who all is? I know Vic, you're moving over there, but
Yeah, I think we were gonna give some space between us and Vic.
okay. So Vic, and as you look at it, you see that the gnome seems to have been intentionally raising the crystal to his face. So you're not sure what that's about.
Perhaps trying to look through it.
Wow, you failed.
Well, it would be similar to your lens idea.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if this is a point towards or against my theory, but
Just the idea that others have had the idea as well.
yes, great minds, great minds. Shall we press forward, Vic?
You said
Yeah.
the stone was broken in his hand?
Like a broken off piece of crystal is what I meant by broken.
Like something that he maybe broke off from this very room, like from
Right.
the wall. Okay.
Right. And yeah, I mean, I'll just give it to you. If you look around, you can find out where he broke it from.
Can we pick up a piece and look through it just to see if there's anything that happens from that?
No, but just you get the distinct sense that it's a lot like looking through your mirror.
Does it look like something that would be valuable? Like, do I get the sense that maybe he was stealing this or using it more as like a in the moment kind of improvised protective measure?
It seems like the latter very much.
Okay.
Like you probably could see on his tool belt even like hammer and chisel, and he didn't use that to break this thing off like gently. Like it seemed like a very rapid thing.
This was a last-ditch effort.
Yeah. But once again, and I'll give this to Jasa with that roll earlier, you just don't hear any, like there's no noise going on. Like there's nothing moving around besides sort of the gentle, you probably hear some water dripping against the crystals themselves, which gives a very pleasant tone, but other than that, nothing.
I don't hear any movement, so I think we continue on.
Where are you guys going down those stairs? Is there a specific set of stairs you are going to?
Is it lit enough that if we're at the top of the stairs that we can see down there, or is it like kind of contained?
Let me see what's in it. Let me see what's in that room. 1 second. It is really, really not a good, this is brighter up here, but you do have the occasional patch of bioluminescent, like on the ceiling way above you. And what is the group of, where is this? Your passive perceptions. Who has 14 and above?
I do. My passive perception is 19.
Okay.
That's 17.
Okay.
For passive perception.
So Drazzle, you quickly see and because you've already seen it once, and Jasa, you do too. Near one of the bioluminescent up on the ceiling, you see in the wall, it's like a less obvious Han Solo-ish in the chocolate bar.
Okay.
Like there seems to be a humanoid.
It's Curly
in
Jefferson.
The wall. It's not like gnomish. It's some weird humanoid shape. But Drazzle, to you, it looks very much like the face you saw.
Oh. Hello again, friend. We are on our way. Let us know if you see problem.
Do you say that out loud?
I said to him. I mean, how far away am I? Is he like the ceiling?
Maybe 100 feet in the ceiling, yeah.
Oh, well then no. I just kind of wave.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll look at it and look at Drazzle, and then I'll look back to see if it reacts in any way.
It doesn't. It doesn't move. It seems to be calcified, similar to Drazzle. This is exactly what you saw earlier. You just saw only the face earlier. Now you can actually see.
Look back at Drazzle
limbs.
again, and then I'll keep moving.
Okay. You're headed down the stairs.
Yeah.
It's I assume all of you are headed down the stairs. Still quiet. And you move into this area, and the floor of the cavern completely worn smooth. The walls are rough. You see the great men here. Fits the description exactly. It's clearly a stalagmite, sorry, that was carved into sort of almost like a pillar. And throughout it, there are sort of flat slots.
And did our priest friend tell us where exactly on?
No, he just said somewhere. He didn't. I think he was not. He was definitely not concerned where you put it. Just that you put it.
Put it on the stone.
Yeah.
Okay. I will take the gem out.
Okay.
And I will look at it longingly as it.
If,
So,
What happened once we put gem in spot?
supposedly we purify the temple.
Is there bright light? Or do we need to be ready for attack? We've been quiet, and now I think we do something that makes a lot of attention.
Well,
That's what we're here for.
suppose we will find out.
I just kind of move over to look back the way we came. Because this way up here is blocked, right?
Yep. They caved
I'm
it
just
in.
going to look down at one of the angles, how we came in.
So this is specifically what the chemicals will dissolve, and this is why you needed this area to form some area of protection, which is why you're purifying this temple.
I'm just thinking we've got as far away from the entrance as possible. We've been very quiet. Whatever we're gonna do now, I feel it is not going to be quiet.
Good.
I placed the gem
Okay.
on the stone.
You place the glow inside the menhir, and as you find a slot, and so you place it in, and your hands, when you rest the gem down, your hands are actually touching the stone of the menhir itself. And as the crystal hits that stone, you feel a slow rumbling. That feels very like the sound you heard. And then all of you start to feel it in your feet. Just a slow, gentle rumbling. And those of you with the high passive perceptions, not the figure you saw earlier, but suddenly from one of the walls, you see one of the walls break off, and this massive, it's really something you have never seen before, just hurtles at you. I need everyone to roll initiative.
Oh no.
Please. Oops. Give me 1 second. Boop. Put Rocky here on the tracker.
There's a dexterity of 99. Whoa.
Wait, what?
It's a 1.99.
Wait, what's going on there? I mean, before I start rolling attacks for him, let me see what he's. Oh, you know what it is? He has a dexterity of 8, and so he rolled a 2, and it's a -1.
Oh.
That's what's going on. So yeah. 5. Although I'm not sure that's how that is supposed to work. But anyway,
I don't think it matters.
So you guys, Vic, you see this thing hurtling. Hold on, are you guys in order?
Dolphix didn't get on the tracker.
Oh, Dolphix, sorry. 1 second. Dolphix. Dolphix, what's 14, right?
Yes.
Okay. Send. Okay, sorry, Jason. You see this thing hurtling towards, it is maybe, let's say 30, 40 feet away from you at the moment. It looks angry. It doesn't look like the peaceful thing that you were warned about.
I'm gonna duck behind them in here and hide as a bonus action.
Okay.
And then I am going to ready an attack with my well, I don't want to get that close. So I'll ready an attack with my whip.
Okay.
To trigger if it attacks someone.
Okay.
Because the guy said not all the rock things are enemies.
Not all the rock things are enemies. Dolphix, you're up next.
It looks like it's barreling towards us, right?
It does look angry. It does not look like.
Okay. Yeah.
In fact, it doesn't even like the peace you felt when you put the gem down.
Yeah.
Like this is a different cacophonous sound compared to that.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, I'm gonna take out my short sword then and try to hit it with my booming blade.
Okay. That hits. So you slice into it and you feel as like it is tough to pull this through this solid piece of rock. You managed to do it. And then I add that to it, right? So 15 points of piercing damage.
Second attack.
Okay.
Isn't booming blade, it takes the damage if it then moves? Or is there additional damage if it moves?
It's additional damage at level 5.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I got it. All right.
Go for a second attack. Hits, and so 10. Okay. You can absolutely tell. So we know Jasa is a little bit off. Vic and Drazel are probably off. Dolphix, you would have run up to it because Vic, it is your turn.
I'm gonna cast Cloud of Daggers on it.
Okay.
And then if I can, I'd run to like the stairs and just get like, I don't know. I don't know. Is that like kind of like a nook in the wall? Like, is it kind of cavernous in the stairwell?
It's pretty cavernous. Yeah, it's cavernous. Are you trying to hide? Is that
not so much hide, but this thing's huge, so I'm just trying to like get myself in a spot where I'm kind of defensible, so I can concentrate on my spell reasonably well. And then
you can get yourself well out of the way of this thing.
Okay, so that's where I'll move, and then with my bonus action, I'll give Dolphix a Bardic Inspiration.
Drazel, what are you doing?
I'm going to try to aid my friends against whatever might be occurring and start off with a little support spell. I'm going to go with less.
Okay, for the other three?
Yeah, for the other 3 people.
So, can Vic does that? Wait, really? Okay, give me 1 second.
My spell, I don't think it happens till the start of his turn. I was just deducting my spell slot.
Nope, thanks. Give me 1 second as I turn on the concentration mod so that this actually works. I don't know why it's off. Settings, APIs. Oh, that's why. Okay. Drazzle figured out. So, okay. Vic, that's concentration too, right?
Yeah.
Small. Okay, Drezel, anything else? Where are you positioning yourself, Drezel?
I see that Vic's on one of the stairs. I was trying to watch this stair over here initially. I guess that kind of puts me somewhere over here.
Okay.
As I do that, I also just kind of look back up at the ceiling where we saw our friend the last time to see if he's there still.
Yeah, harder to see because now you're down below.
Okay.
Like, so it's a little harder to see, and in the heat of things, you're not sure. Okay, it's the Earth Elemental's turn. What happens to him, Vic? Because he's started there.
It's 44, I think.
Okay.
Let me pop up the damage.
Okay.
Oh, are you kidding?
Wait, what?
I rolled all once.
Wow.
Okay.
Each one of those attacks is like a fumble.
Oh,
You see 4 tiny little like tinder and flints, like ting ting ting, all over him as these attack. It is his turn, and he's going to slam into you twice, Dolphix, or try to.
I'm gonna take my triggered action when he does that.
So you are still, because Dolphix had to run up to him. So if you were using the whip.
Yeah, so I have 10 feet reach. Is it he's not that close?
Yeah, like he was 40
Okay.
feet away from you when.
Okay.
And so I would perfectly, if you want to switch it to a ranged weapon, I'm not going to have a big.
No, I thought he was going to get closer. I was ready with the whip.
He hasn't moved yet, is the thing.
Okay.
So 2 slams on Dolphix. A 23, I'm assuming, hits Dolphix for 15 bludgeoning, and a 28 for 28 bludgeoning.
Can I use my bardic inspiration to add the D8 to my AC? Because that's
sure
something
can.
Vic lets me do now.
Yep.
Cool.
So you just take the 28 then.
Well, assuming I
Oh,
roll
sorry.
a 3.
Yeah, sorry.
Assuming I roll a 3 or higher.
Sorry. Yep.
Which I do.
Okay.
Good.
So you take the 28 bludgeoning as he just like bolts into you as like this. You just feel like you were hit by the strength of the earth. That's him for him. Jasa, it is your turn.
All right. I'm gonna stay where I am, where I'm stealthed, and take a shot with the short bow.
Go for it. Just misses.
Okay. Then I'm going to hide again.
Right. I'm trying to think of a reason. There's no reason it would be above a 16, right?
Nothing that I've got. No, it was advantage, so the 16 would be it.
Okay, got it.
And then I will bonus action hide again.
Okay, you
behind
are
the men here.
You are. Let me just make sure of it. You are hit. Yep, you're absolutely hidden.
That's it for me.
Dolphix, is your turn.
Oh, I'm not feeling so good right now. Well, when in doubt, hit it again. I'm gonna cast Booming Blade. Oh, it's a miss.
That misses, unfortunately.
Alright, second attack.
Misses.
Oh, that's an epic miss.
All right, Vic.
I'll give this a try. I will try to use Dissonant Whispers on it.
Okay.
To the Wisdom saving throw.
Let's see. It fails. So, well, let me just make sure it actually fails. Let me make sure it doesn't have a weird. Okay, yep, it fails. So it first of all takes 21 psychic damage. And it needs to use its reaction to move its distance, right?
Yes.
You suddenly see it dive into the earth below you. And it disappears.
Dolphix get an opportunity attack as it leaves his threat.
He can, yeah, he can. You want an opportunity attack, Dolphix? Hits.
You had cast Booming Blade and didn't hit, so I think that triggers.
I didn't hit with my booming blade, so I don't.
Doesn't it last for until it hits? For like a minute? Or is it just a round?
It's a round. The duration is a round.
It would
So
still be up then.
From the previous round, because
You cast it at the start of the last round, but you missed both of those attacks, so it hasn't triggered yet. Because when you hit, you trigger it, right?
No, so it's both. So on a hit, it deals extra damage, plus when they leave, like when they move, it deals damage.
So you cast it, but then missed 2 attacks. So this one hit, so it would trigger the spell. And then it continues to leave, so it would trigger again.
Its duration is 1 round, not 1 turn. Oh, right, 1 round is the
One
longer
round,
one. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So you just cast it this round.
Yeah, on a hit. Yeah. Yeah, but that only occurs when I hit it, right?
You just did on your opportunity attack, so it would trigger.
Right, but I have to cast it when I hit it.
But you did cast it, and it's still active. You have to make an attack. Never
Okay.
mind.
What? Yeah, because I thought I had to make an attack as part of casting the spell. But
I'm so confused. I'm glad you
Yeah,
guys are
I'm
following.
trying to. I kind of am too.
I think you do have to designate that this is the attack I'm using for Booming Blade.
Yeah,
I think that is right. That's
I think you're right. Yeah.
like it is an action to cast it, and as part of that action, you are making an attack.
correct.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think you're right.
Right. So I don't think I can use Booming Blade as a reaction. Yeah. So I'm good.
Yeah,
Not without
okay.
Warcaster.
Yeah.
All right.
And I think that at the end of my turn, then I'm giving Dolphix another Bardic Inspiration.
Got it.
Thank you.
Dresden.
So the thing has disappeared.
Oh, it has. Yeah, sorry. It's there because I was changing its hit points.
So then I don't really know what happened. I know Vic made it run away, but I usually see things run away. I don't see it disappear. So I'm confused as to whether it's going to come back.
Oh, it didn't. It ran away. It just dug through the earth.
Right, but it just usually you could see them like still running.
Yeah.
Instead of just
This
like,
thing burrowed.
he disappeared within 30 feet of us.
Right.
So I'm just going to just kind of spin around and look for, either him to come back or for another target to appear up.
Okay.
I don't have I made a mistake. I realized, and I got rid of my my heal spell, so I don't have that to offer.
Okay. Are you holding something, Drezel?
No, I'm just keeping alert.
You're not holding an attack.
No, I'm not.
Okay. Jason. Oh wait, hold on. He went. Sorry, I have him.
If it matters, Corey, I would just be holding a cantrip.
But you can do that. Like that's why I was encouraging you.
Yeah, if he appears, I would unleash you with Toll the Dead on him.
Got it. Sorry, his round. He does pop back up because he's allowed to. And Dolphix, he erupts out of the earth again. So Drezel, throw your.
Okay. This
That's
time
a much better Cloud of Daggers.
Oh, and he walked into his Cloud of Daggers. So yeah, this time. So he took 12. Sorry, I can't find him. There he is. 12. Okay. And then Drezel, he needs a wisdom save.
Yeah, I don't know why it rolls twice. Although I would love to take the second roll.
Oops, no, wrong one. Wrong one. No. Where are you? Fails, so he takes 21 points of damage. And you can see as this stuff is hitting him, like rocks, huge rocks are falling off this guy's body. So he's actually probably like a third of the size he was from all the damage you've done. Jason, it's your turn.
All right. I had hidden, so I will pop out and take my shot with the short bow.
Hits. And you have sync attack.
Yeah.
So
At the risk of my
16
death,
points of damage.
the risk of my death, Corey, was the.
Oh, he does have an attack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right.
Yep.
I was like, he's just gonna pop up and end his turn.
Yeah, that's not gonna kill him. So that's. Are you gonna do something else, Jason, or no?
I'm gonna hide again.
Okay, so this is his turn, which technically happened before Jason's. So 14 misses you, and 11 misses you. You are lucky.
I hate to bring this up, Corey, but you know you have 5 rerolls in the bank.
Oh, I know I have 5 rerolls. Don't you worry.
All right.
You want to spend them on this random encounter, not on the Pudding King, right?
No, the players want me to spend it. No, don't worry. All right. So Jason, you had your round.
Yep.
Dolphix, it's your turn.
All right. Then same spiel. Let's see here.
Hits.
That one hits. So that's 9 plus 3 thunder.
Okay. One of his arms is completely gone at this point.
Haha. And the second attack. 19
Hits.
hit.
And with a final swipe, you just crack down the middle of him, and you see all of the cohesion he had. He just tumbles into rock. And then something very interesting happens. Hold on, give me.
All the oozes run away.
So, as Dolphix, sort of like, so that like sort of violent rumble, like earthquake-like rumble that the earth elemental was exhibiting, that subsides because he's dead, right? And under your feet, you feel a very gentle rumble, and you see emerge out of the ground one of these dudes.
Oh man.
And he emerges out of the ground.
An earth elemental with male pattern baldness.
He looks at the men here, and he bows to it once, and he turns around and he looks outward from the men here, and he's nothing. He just stops moving. And then you hear a new set of violent rumble. This time coming from the stairs behind Jasa and Drazzle, like in between you guys. So it's getting a little crowded, but you understand. So he's not adjacent to any of the three of you, but he could easily, if based on what you just saw a moment ago, he could get to Drazzle or Jasa easily within this round. Dolphix, that was both. Did you saw movement?
I mean, my job. I'm gonna run up.
Okay.
Can I run up to it? I don't know how far it is.
No, but you can.
Halfway.
You can put yourself as the first thing it would hit. So you're not next to it now, but it would have to like pass by you to get to Drazzle or Jason. How's that?
I'll do that.
Okay. So I'm gonna just move him out of the way because this is super. I don't think. Yeah. This. That's what's going on. Okay.
And the boulder dude isn't doing anything.
No, he's just sitting there completely still. Vic, it is your turn.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to pop out of my little hidey hole.
Okay.
Is it more or less look like the original, like the first one that we were fighting, or does it look?
I mean, it's the same type of thing. Like it's just thunder and like when it comes out of the rock, you hear the rock cracking. Whereas the Galadur, when you like it was so gentle and calm. Like you all experienced a little bit of what Jace or Dolphix experienced when he put the crystal up to his head. Like they are clearly two opposing forces. And this earth elemental is violent and angry, whereas the
Cool.
Galadur seems to be more shaping of stone.
I think I'll hit it up with another cloud of daggers. Well, Dolphix is not fully up to it yet.
Yeah, so do you want to put it sort of in between you and Dolphix, or it and Dolphix?
Maybe I'll hold off on that because it's
Okay.
sort of a gamble, trying to lure it into a trap like that.
It didn't. I mean, they don't seem very smart in the sense of the one that the first one walked right back into your daggers.
Okay. I think I'll cast a healing word on Dolphix because I think that maybe is helpful. And then I'm gonna do what's the bard cantrip? Vicious Mockery on the big fella.
It's wisdom. Sorry, I just rolled. It fails. So 8 points of psychic damage. Does
disadvantage on his first weapon attack.
Okay. Drazen.
It's far enough away that I can safely hit it with a fireball, right?
Yeah, you can pick a place to. Okay.
Nice.
It's a terrible. Yeah. So it takes. Let me just make sure of that. Yep, it takes 27 points of damage. Okay. It's still up though. Anything else, Joseph?
No, that was the main thing I was working on.
Are you repositioning yourself at all, or just like I said, it won't unless it burrows through things, it won't get to you before it passes Dolphix.
Yeah, I'm more standing here in case another one comes up. It seems like it appeared on the stairs. The other one appeared on the stairs.
It appeared in this area between the stairs. That's sorry.
It's just sort of my thoughts, or maybe it's tied to the entryways into the region. So one came from the north entry, one came from that entry. Maybe one's going to come from the entry I'm guarding. So I'll stay where I'm at.
It's its turn. It does get up to you, Jasa, in this turn.
Not me, right?
Sorry, Dolphix. I'm sorry. Yeah, totally. Sorry. And it's going to make 2 swipes at you. 27 and a 20. You have Bardic Inspiration.
I'm gonna use the Bardic Inspiration. That doesn't take my reaction, does it?
Nope. Okay.
28. That's my AC now.
How long is it your AC for a single attack, or?
I think it's for a single attack. Yeah.
Okay. Is there one you would have preferred to use it on before I press the damage button?
It doesn't really matter, I guess, but the 27, so I'll go the first one.
So the second one, you take 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right.
Let's see. You picked right. It would have been 18 otherwise, so 12. All right. Jason.
I'm going to stick with the tried and true and duck behind the menhir and hide.
Okay. So you're sort of scooping it around to the side.
Yep. And then take a shot.
Totally are able to hide. And that hits with advantage.
For 17.
All right. Pierce it in, and you knock off one of its mohawk rocks. Just flies off.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was Silas.
Dolphix. Hits. Are you doing boom blade? Okay, so 16. Okay. Hits 11. All right. You're getting the hang of like chopping pieces off of this, knowing that the more pieces you chop off of it, eventually it's not going to be a hold itself together. So it's looking bad, but you still have a little bit to go.
This is a principle I apply to all my enemies.
Vic.
Now I'll drop the Cloud of Daggers
Got
on
it.
its space.
Do I still have it out?
And-
No. Okay.
And it's working, so I'll give another Bardic Inspiration to Dolphix.
Okay. Drazel.
Scorching Ray, which every time I read it, I always forget whether I have to roll 3 times because as I create 3 rays of fire.
Yes, you do.
It's 3 separate rolls. Just
Scorching Ray. Yep.
Trying to remember how it works or if it doesn't take all 3 of my spell slots.
You just add the spell slots back. It's probably going to take all 3. Misses.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Sorry. Hold on. Let me retcon something here real quick. Oh no, it wouldn't. Never mind. Sorry. What I was retconning was it would have had disadvantage on one of those slams, but it would have been the first one,
Yeah.
which still would have hit you. So that's hard. All right. Drezel. That
My second one
hits. Wait, hold on. Oh, sorry. No, the second one misses. Sorry.
It'll be a very frustrating attempt.
Well, one of them's a crit. The second one hits, but not a crit. So 7 points of damage. Got it. Okay. Do you want to roll anything else, Drezel?
No, that'll be it.
Okay. Do you want to? What are you doing, Soph? Hi. I know you're here. Do you want to roll Cloud of Daggers, please? 9 points of damage. It's just chipping away, and like certain points of the Cloud of Daggers are actually like polishing the stone, like where it's jagged, it's starting to smooth down. But he's still up, so he is going to slam at you. 13 and 24. Do you want to use Bardic Inspiration?
Do I have Bardic Inspiration this time around?
Yep.
Okay.
Vic just gave it to you again.
Oh no.
No.
I'm gonna use my reaction to shield then.
Okay.
So
you're good, right?
I'm good. 20.
Okay. Jason.
Keep doing this. Actually, no. I'm going to take the bonus action to hide. So if I hide here and then dash out, I guess I could take a shot with the bow on the way. So I'll do the bonus action hide.
Okay. Totally hits. Nicely.
And then I will pop out and take a shot from stealth at a 27.
Hits.
For 26 points of damage.
Okay. You slam into it, and there's like a joint that you see like a piece of stone hanging onto it, and you hit it right at the perfect angle. So like half of its chest now just topples to the ground. And sort of you see it's teetering. It's completely like unbalanced at this point. Not long for this world.
And then I am going to take my movement to get up near Dolphix and be ready to give this thing another target.
Okay. Dolphix, it is your turn.
Good hit, Jason. Good hit.
We'll take it down so it doesn't hit us again.
That's quite the plan.
Okay. That hits 14 total. It has lost one of its arms. It has lost most of its chest on the other side.
That's one. And
That hits, and that's gonna kill it. So
that's two.
it topples to the ground.
Well
And
done. I wasn't looking forward to getting hit.
Drazzle, you feel a gentle movement under your feet.
Yeah.
And emerging on the other side of the men here, away from all of you, is another one of these things. It turns to you, the group of you, and it bows. Then it turns to the men here and it bows. And then it turns away from the men here and becomes completely still. And in the same movement, you hear another cracking of stone, a much more angry.
I've told enough children's fairy tales to know that things come in threes.
Coming out of the wall near you, Vic, right near you, is this thing. It's not its turn yet, so, but you are adjacent to it, just so you know. But Dolphix, is there anything else with your turn?
Yeah, I'm gonna run. Can I run up towards?
Yep. Yeah, I'll let you. Yep, absolutely.
That's my turn.
So it's adjacent to both of you now, just so
Yeah.
you're aware. Vic, it's your turn.
All right. Whew. Let's cast Dissonant Whispers on this one. See if I can get it to withdraw for at least a moment.
Yep. Wisdom, right?
Yeah.
You did. So it rolled a 16 damage. It doesn't go down, but it disappears into this wall.
I'm gonna kind of like maneuver myself, I guess, over by my buds here.
Okay. Yep.
And
They don't like you as you pass by them. Like they don't react. They don't do anything, but you feel them. Like it seems like there's almost like, because you're standing between two of them now, and it almost seems like there's this perfectly like harmonic vibration flowing between the two of them.
I like this. We vibing. And with that, I'm gonna give some positive energy over towards Dolphix and last Bardic Inspiration.
All right, Drazen.
All right, so he's again disappeared. So I don't know.
Yeah,
where
he
he's
went
gone.
into the wall. He went into the wall behind, like those stairs.
Well, not be able to see what's happening. I'm just going to move to a point where I am a little bit more flexible to hit wherever it might come.
Okay.
And also to kind of be near Dolphix, because you look kind of beat up, right?
Yep, that's right.
I'm going to kind of step up as best I can to be with you and have my ready to action of Soul of the Dead, so I don't lose it.
Okay. Jason.
I'm gonna duck behind the Gale next to me and use it as a hiding spot.
Okay.
And ready in action to shoot with the bow.
Okay. You guys, it certainly emerges. You guys feel free to take those.
All right.
That hits. So 26.
20 points of damage from me.
That was your. Oh, sorry. Nope. I'm just reading wrong names today.
Yep.
So, it's 20 for you, and it's 13 for you, and it's. Oh, Dolphix, you didn't have a. Sorry,
Oh,
you didn't have one yet. It didn't get to your turn.
okay, my bad.
So sorry.
I thought it was
okay.
popping back up or leaving or something.
Nope. Yeah, it's all the same turn, and it just. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Just because-
Dolphix would have had an opportunity attack when it fled.
That's true.
And it
Would
would have
you-
triggered my booming blade.
Okay. So you can use that roll. I don't have a problem with you using that
All right,
roll.
then yeah.
So
it's
just-
then
Just tell me what to do. So 20.
23, so it's 13 damage plus the booming blade damage. So
I'll roll the wisdom save while you guys are doing that. Fails. So okay. So it's 20. It's 33, 37, 42. If I'm counting that all correctly. It's pretty mad. And you just hear like the rumbling is like almost deafening. It is definitely echoing everywhere in the chamber, just to be foreshadowing. 19, so misses you, Dolphix. With you still have very high AC at the moment. Now it is your turn. Now it's your turn.
I'm gonna hit it.
Okay. Hits 14. Okay. So 15. You're becoming like an expert in this.
I missed this one.
That one misses, yeah.
Well, the bless is on, so you still have the 1d4.
Oh, right.
Oh my gosh, that's been on for ages.
Yeah.
Not
18.
And
18's
that
a
actually
hit.
hits. Oh, I wish.
Take it.
I don't know how often I remember and forget that spell.
Yep. Yep. That certainly hits. All right. In fact, there's a couple of Jasons that would have hit. I'm sorry, Jasa.
That's okay.
Yeah, because you were always like one under.
I should have remembered too,
No,
but that just reminded me.
Yeah. All right. Vic, it's your turn.
All right. And it's like back out from the wall, right? Like
It is,
you
yeah.
can see
Everyone can see it. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna cast Vicious Mockery on it.
Okay. Fails. Earth elementals are whips.
They act all tough, but inside, there's a tiny earth elemental that's
They're not
weeping.
very wise. Foolish.
They're also their intelligence is 5.
And Dolphix.
Oh, sorry. I need to. So we take 6.
6. Dolphix, are you still looking a little bit on the wounded side?
A bit.
I'm gonna throw out a healing word
Very,
as well.
very much so. Yes.
I don't mind me. Just got some age on me. That's all.
Dres. Yeah, Dresel. Would you like to?
Well, he's not visible, correct?
No, he is. You are not adjacent to him. You
Okay,
could be though if you wanted to.
How far away am I from him? I can't really read your distance here.
There's no. This is just. There's no distance on this map. Maybe 20 feet away or so. Within, you can get there just with movement.
All
Because
right,
you
okay.
wanted to be next to Dolphix, and that's easy.
Yeah. Go for burning hands on him.
Okay.
Keep rolling low. Keep rolling low.
Oh, is that there? Okay. Sorry. Sophie, why do you need to lick my leg? That's all she's doing.
She loves you.
She does love me, but it's a little weird for an hour of licking.
Don't rub peanut butter on your legs then before game time.
Yeah, it's not. It's a little
Good advice anytime.
Only when you're shaving. So that's gonna be.
I don't think that's the recommended usage.
Wait, what's going on?
17 points of damage.
17. Okay. And you see some of those like the rock heats up to like, and it starts to melt off him. He's still up, but he's very polished, smooth. He's like a lava elemental at this point, but a very tiny one. Jason.
Well, Drazel's there to be another target, so I will stay back here, hide behind the Galeb door,
Hits.
and then take a shot.
You crush him.
That shot is not going to hit.
Oh, it sure isn't. I read your stuff.
Unless I
Don't
roll a 4 on
You've
my
gotta-
bless.
Correct. There you
Ding!
go.
All right, I'll do it.
Can you roll me damage real quick? I'll tell
Yeah.
you if it.
15 points of damage.
That kills him. So he had 14 left. So,
Bless
I
finally
like that.
comes in.
so,
Bless just close the deal there.
so I can make this look pretty. I'm moving you all out of the way for a minute. And sure enough, you all feel underneath your feet a gentle humming as The third one takes up his place, does the bow, and turns around, and suddenly the men here in the middle suddenly starts glowing this very radiant white light. The three Galabdur all turn backwards to the men here. They bow to the men here. And then they all turn to the group of you and they bow to you. And then you see them sort of like shudder. And suddenly you can no longer tell them apart from the standing stones you saw in the other place. So now there's this big standing stone clearly made from a stalagmite and three smaller men here around it. And if you look closely, you can see the faces are all staring at you still, but it's very, very hard to pick that up. They're nearly indistinguishable. So, and for those of you who have some training in religion, certainly Drezel, but the rest of you, if you've spent a lot of time, you feel the divine peace of a blessed and consecrated temple around you. And sort of the silence falls over the area.
I immediately
again.
look over to Vic and Drazzle and Dolvik's next man. Go for the high five.
Yeah. See, that wasn't so bad.
Well done.
All right. Let's tell them the good news.
And we just need to escape, no get stoned.
What's the worst that could happen?
All right.
Let's keep our eyes open.
All right. So you guys are headed back. I assume you're going basically back the same way
Mm-hmm.
you're going.
Yeah.
Jason, make me a perception check. Give me 1 second. What am I doing? Oh, here it is. Jeez. Jason, as you start to walk up the stairs, and as the group of you start to walk up the stairs, you're hearing that pattern again, the splish splash. Hear the waterfall in the distance, and sort of you hear this. You now, one of the new things you hear is you hear this pleasant vibration coming from the Gelabdur, and sort of like everything has a rhythm to it that you're very aware of.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's footsteps behind you or around you, I guess. I don't know if you're in front. And then you hear something else. Just catch one sound that is something not something you've heard.
Okay.
You're about the group of you are about halfway up that set of stairs, and it's coming from vaguely in front of you.
I'm gonna motion for everyone to stop and like tilt my head to try to make it obvious that I'm listening, and I want to hear if it's coming closer.
It's not coming closer. In fact, you don't hear it at all, but it definitely was there.
Okay.
Like so your best guess is it has stopped as well.
Okay. I'd like to wait a beat.
Okay.
To see if it resumes.
It doesn't. It seems it seems to know that you are not moving.
Okay.
Everything about this tells you it's this hunter-prey situation at the moment.
Then I'm gonna turn to Dolphix and telepathically say something was up ahead moving. It's absolutely aware of us and it stopped moving when we did. It's waiting for us.
I'm gonna slowly take out my mirror again, kind of just like wave it to the others, make sure they have theirs.
Alright.
Can I respond back mentally?
No, my telepathy is only one way, unfortunately.
That's fine. Yeah, I'll just make eye contact with you and kind of just like make a jabbing motion. Like the only way out is through.
And then I will telepathically say, well, I'll follow your lead.
All right. I'm gonna start moving forward.
Okay. So you are intentionally going up front?
Yeah, but
Okay.
like, you know, I'm using the mirror.
Yeah. So I would like, none of you are surprised. So I'm just gonna put a flat out sort of.
I'm gonna try to stealth along behind.
That's fine. Yeah, I don't mind. But none of you, like all of you, know each other are there now. So not gonna do a surprise round, but you're welcome to stealth and do that roll right now before anything begins. It's not a bonus. Okay.
No, not very good.
So if you would all roll initiative.
Solid roll of 1.
What, did I just do that? No, I did not. Did it already? Ah. So I don't know what's going on here. So I'm gonna roll hers. Independently. Boop. Doesn't matter. Okay. So the initiating action of this combat is those of you with dark vision finally see what ahead of you, maybe about 100, 120 feet. You see a drow woman staring at you through the darkness. But as you look closer, those of you with dark vision who can sort of start it, and I'm saying dark vision because she's hard to pick up. Like she's hidden, but not perfectly. So those of you with dark vision actually pick up on the movement of the snakes in her hair. And she's staring straight at you. So that will start the, and it's Jasa who, you also notice her, Jasa. I'm not excluding you from that.
I have no light, so I'm probably doing it by hearing.
So there's dim light everywhere because she's up here.
Okay.
In 19. Yeah. So there's up where she is, there's dim light at least.
All right. Do I have a suspicion that I am not hidden from her? I was trying to hide. I did not do well at it.
Yeah. I think, I mean,
I was aware that she was hunting us.
Right. Yeah.
Previously.
I mean, I think you're aware, like it's you're roughly in a group. Your gut feeling is that she sees all four of you, but you could be wrong.
Okay. Well, I am going to go ahead and take an additional stealth check to try to duck behind someone or the wall of this stairway or wherever I can to try to get a better stealth here.
Okay. Okay.
And then while averting my gaze, I'm going to take a shot. So this should be a straight roll.
Okay. Got it.
If that was sufficient stealth to have had advantage.
Yes, you have advantage.
So I hit a 22.
Okay, so and you're short bowing. So suddenly an arrow flies out, hits her, and so it's gonna be 8 plus 15, right?
Only 8, because I didn't have advantage.
Yeah. So 8, and you hear her screech out, and the the snakes hiss like loudly you hear through that. She is now very aware of you. Vic, you are about 100 feet away from her. Jason, are you moving any closer to her, or are you?
I'm just no. I'm staying ducked in the stairwell.
Okay.
Where I have good places to hide.
What's the short boat range?
It is actually 8320. So
Okay.
But it wouldn't matter because I have advantage, disadvantage anyway.
Exactly. Just be aware of that. Do you want to move into that 80 range at least?
No, because I hope to continue getting advantage.
Okay. Vic, what would you like to do?
You said I'm like 100 feet away.
Let's say 110. We'll say Dolphix is 100 since he was ahead of you, and the rest of you are 10 feet behind.
Oh boy, that makes it tricky. We're like just coming up the stairs,
right?
When we see her, okay. I think I'm just gonna withdraw into kind of where the stairway is and try to hide.
Okay.
I don't want to go up there.
Okay, great. Drazzle.
How far away am I? I feel really far back.
110 feet. Ignore the positioning. I just don't have a map.
No, it's more of just if I'm 110 feet, I have to think of what range I could do anything. I get to within 80 feet. I don't have anything that can hit her from 80 feet, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna kind of move to be with the intent of being able to hit with a 60-foot spell next round. And she hasn't moved yet, but she can probably move 60 feet. No, 50 feet. Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of stay really where I am, but
okay. So you're 110 feet away from her?
I'll move up to 100. That feels safe.
Okay, so Dolphix, you're next to Dolphix then?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You see, so Dolphix is not hidden and Drazzle's not hidden. You see her from her back take out a longbow, and she fires a arrow at each of you. So Dolphix is first, Drazzle's second. Drazzle, does 17 hit you?
That is my armor class, but I'm going to use oh no, they're too far away. Go ahead.
You're gonna take, ignore that, you're gonna take 8 piercing and 6 poison damage as you feel her arrows are coated in the venom of her snakes in her hair. Dolphix.
8 piercing and 6 poison?
Correct.
Great.
So you are 100 feet away.
I am 100 feet away. I don't even know. I think at this point I might switch to my arrows then.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna switch to my bows and arrows and just stay here and fire at her with my well. Okay. Interesting, because short bow range is 8320. I can move forward a bit, right? So
yeah, you can move
I'm gonna walk up so that I'm like within 80 feet, and then try to go with my short bow. Although, so this is gonna be at disadvantage though, because I can't look at her directly.
So, are you looking at her directly or no?
No, I'm not gonna look at her directly.
Okay.
So it'd be at disadvantage, I assume.
Okay.
Suboptimal, but I got 19.
That hits.
So 9, and then second attack. 11. So I think that's a miss. Well, I'm gonna use the bardic inspiration on this
one. That hits.
Oh, great. Another
9. Okay. Jason.
Going to attempt to hide again.
Okay. Unfortunately, no luck.
And I'm going to take a shot at disadvantage.
So this area has all sorts of crystals in it too
Mm-hmm.
that you could hide behind if you wanted to move closer and try to hide. Just so you know, I'm not.
Yeah.
So
I'm okay for now.
yeah, no, I think I
I'll
just
take a
wanted
shot
to,
at disadvantage.
just wanted to remind you that all the crystals.
And I'll
So
miss.
unfortunately, miss. Yeah, Vic,
So
you are hidden at the moment.
yeah.
I'm blessed. I'm blessed.
Yeah, I was wondering, the blessed may not
Blessed
still be
because
around.
it's only a minute. They would
Minute.
Is it
definitely
a
be
minute?
over.
I thought it's not 10.
No, it's a minute.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
minute.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it would be over by then.
Too bad. I
Sorry.
remembered it.
I'm going to I want to try to get closer to her.
Okay.
Hoping that I'm not.
So
her
you're at
attention
one.
isn't on me any longer.
You're at 110. Dolphix, you said you're at 80. I'm just going to put it in your red circles. So for now, so in case you wonder what this is later. How far are you moving up, Vic?
Basically, so what I'm kind of picturing is like I'm maybe skirting kind of the perimeter of the room.
Okay.
So I'll use like my action to, double move or whatever to like kind of get over to her. So I'll go like the full distance.
Okay. Are you going directly at her, or are you just sort of?
No,
Okay.
I'm still like trying to like maybe stay out of her like peripheral vision or
Right.
whatever. If you said there's like some crystals up that I could like maybe
Yeah. So let's
kind of make some
110. So why don't we put you at 7, or do you want to go further than Dolphix? Like, do you want to go closer to her than Dolphix is, or no?
So my intent is all of my spells I need to be within 60 feet. So I'm
Okay.
trying to get to a spot where I can
So-
do that.
Okay, so but you're using your dash action, right?
Yeah, not
Okay.
intending to cast this turn, but
Yep.
like,
Okay. So I'm going to put you at 70 then. So you're 70 feet
Sounds
away
good.
from her. So
yeah, that'll be it.
Drezel.
I'm going to move up 30 feet and try and put a fireball on her.
Okay.
Hope for 4 rolls on her part.
Drezel, how many third level spells do you have?
That was both of them.
Oh, you get 2? For some reason, I thought it was 1. Okay.
2.
Fails. So 29. Let me just make sure. Yeah, nothing weird. It's 29. Then you see some of the snakes in her hair and fire. So she's mad. Yeah, so she moves up. So if everyone is now 30 feet closer to her.
Yeah.
So for Jasa, that means 80.
Roughly 70 feet.
70.
80 feet?
Okay. Yeah. So
I thought I was about 100 feet away.
okay. Yeah. So we'll just put that. I'm fine because you guys all had movement. Drazel, you're now 80 feet because you didn't.
No, I was at 100 and I moved up 30, so I was at 70.
Okay, so you're
He
now
moved up, then I'm at 40.
40. Yeah. 40. Dolphix, you're at 20.
No, I already did it. So
Oh,
I'm
you did it.
50.
Okay, you're at 50. Sorry, thanks.
Mhm.
And Vic, you are at.
I think I'd be at 40 as well.
Yep. Okay. All right. So she moves up and she's gonna go for Dolphix and she's gonna go for Vic with longbow. So Dolphix, Vic. So Vic.
Am I still? Is she's able to perceive me?
Well, you didn't hide, right? You just moved up.
Oh, I guess.
Like,
yeah,
what was
got it.
what was your intent?
My intent was like I'm kind of skirting the perimeter of the room using some of those. You said there was like some crystals and whatnot, kind of.
Right. They're all over. So you're just trying to move behind one, is what you're saying?
Yeah, my intent was to be stealthy as I was moving closer.
Okay. I won't give you stealthy, but I will give you. All right, just roll a stealth check. Normally it would have been actually both at the same time would have been hard, but give me a stealth check real quick. Okay, so she's going to pick someone else. And so the next closest would be Chase. Are you hidden? You're not hidden at the moment.
I hid first, so I attacked. I would have become visible at that point.
Okay, so this is a longbow attack at you. Fails. Delphix.
Okay. Gosh. I'll stay where I am and
Okay.
do 2 more hits at disadvantage, I guess. So 12 misses.
20 hits. Yep.
That's 10.
Okay. Okay, Jason.
Am I getting any indication that there's a reason she wants to be closer? Because with her longbow, she wouldn't need to be.
You get, well,
Are the snakes looking hungrily at people?
yes, well, that's it. The snakes are definitely angry. You see on her belt, she also has a short sword.
Okay.
But you also see the way, like, she's moving a little bit like Naga-like, where she's twisting. And you see, as she's doing that, she's trying to catch each of your eyes. And you almost get the feeling that maybe she can't turn you to stone this far away.
That was what I was hoping I would get the feeling of.
Okay.
So I will then take my shot without averting my gaze.
Okay.
And this is, I'm not hidden and nobody's near her, so there will be no sneak attack, but it's a straight roll.
That hits.
So for 10 piercing.
Okay, it hits her.
And then I will hide.
Got it. Okay.
So probably not very well, but I just wanted to reverse the order.
All right. So without looking at her,
Okay.
I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers at 3rd level.
Okay.
Just have to hear her. Or have her hear me.
So we're doing wisdom, right? Ooh, fail. So 14 points of damage first. And then she has to move 30 feet away from you, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever her movement. Okay. So everyone add 30 to that number, just so I don't have to keep track of it. I put it in your red bubble in case on your token. Drazzle.
At 30, she's moving away from us?
Yeah, she's moving away because of Dissonant
Whispers.
Okay.
She's 70 feet away from me at this point.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, let's see. Looking at the way Flaming Sphere works for the range, I can cast it at 60 feet, and then I can move the sphere, but I don't see if there's anything where I move it out of range. I guess it would be 60 feet would be the range I could move it from, right? Because if I cast it, then as a bonus action, I'd be able to move it 30 feet. That would be 90 feet.
Give me 1 second. Let me see this spell.
And I just display it on the screen for us.
Yeah, it doesn't say that it has to stay within range.
So I'm going to cast that so that I can get her at the range that she's at.
Okay.
Take that.
That's dexterity.
Yeah. I'm not worried about her succeeding on that roll.
Yep. So she takes 1 point of damage. It's her turn. She's moving away from the spear. And so who is she closest to? Vic, right?
To be, what, 70 feet away? Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. So let me just change that on your token, 70. But Yeah, but I think she's gonna go. Dolphix did the most damage. So you see her. Yeah, she dashes towards Dolphix. So everyone go down 60 on your amount.
I'm sorry if I'm not catching it. Is this something you were wanting us to track on somewhere?
Yeah. So if you click once in your token, the red circle above your token is where I've been doing it. Yours is up to date, Vic. I've been doing it for you.
Okay.
I tried to update mine, but it went back after I hit it. It's like
you just press.
Okay.
Yep.
You just have to type it in and hit enter, otherwise it will just revert.
Exactly.
So she was at 70 and now she's 60 feet closer.
Yes, because she just ran towards all of you and primarily towards Dolphix.
So she's 10 feet from you now, Drazzle.
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as I know, everyone except Jasa is looking away from her. Correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Dolphix, it is your turn. She is what, 10 feet away from you? 20 feet?
Oh, okay. In that case, yeah, I'll drop my short bow, take out my short sword, and just close the distance there.
Okay.
So 5. Okay, I'm gonna hit her with a short sword and booming blade.
Hits. 12 plus 2. Okay. 13 or 14.
Second attack.
And then snakes. Snakes are hissing at you, and like you can see them like darting at you as you slash into her. That hits. Sorry, her AC is
am I still at disadvantage then?
Oh,
I'm not
you are.
looking
Yeah,
at it.
you absolutely are. Just like unless, yeah, you are. Sorry. All right, Jason.
I will go ahead and pop up to take a shot. I failed to hide last time, so this is just a straight shot. I will miss, probably.
Yes. 15 is their AC.
And then I will attempt to hide again.
Okay.
And this time I duck way down in the stairwell.
Vic.
So she's like 10 feet away. I'm going to cast my last trick, Distant Whispers at 3rd level.
Wisdom. Man, I have not made any saves. Okay, that's 20 points of damage. Okay, she runs away 30.
And then I'm going to move the opposite direction 30.
Okay, so she's 30 closer to all the rest of you, but Vic. I'm sorry, she's 30 more away from you. Vic, she's 60 more away from you. Drazzle.
So I don't know where she is, but I'm going to try and slam 30 feet of ball into her if that's a possibility.
Yep, yeah, because she just basically is back near.
If she's skedaddled, can I use my reaction to?
Yep,
we
yeah,
put her
absolutely.
Right next to
Oh,
each
yeah,
other.
yeah, absolutely. Yep. Sorry.
Okay.
Let's do this one at a time. Hits. And you slice into her and she collapses. And you see the snakes in her hair sort of like start to fight with each other as they try to pull themselves out of the head. And they eventually, they also die.
Well, that's disturbing.
Oops.
Eh,
I deleted one of
I
you.
wasn't aware that was
Sorry, I deleted Drazzle. Sorry. Why Drazzle?
Drazzle was also the Medusa.
Yeah, Drazzle. The Medusa was inside Drazzle.
Drazzle is just a figment of the Medusa's imagination.
Well,
The real
Drazzle was
Medusa
just thinking about taking a
is
bite
inside
of Medusa
Drazzle.
and trying to assume some of her power. So maybe the idea isn't so far fetched.
All right. So it's kind of late. So let's. I'm just gonna do some of this real quick. What the heck is Drazzle? Oh,
God.
There you are. You guys managed to get back, unless you're planning to do anything while you're still here. Drazzle.
He's bigger and better than ever.
Yeah. That's about the right size of his
That's
belly.
what happens when you eat a Medusa's head.
Now we have to defeat him, and then he'll
Yeah.
come back as a smaller version of himself.
And then we can all eat parts of Drazzle.
You cut off his tail, and then suddenly there's 2 Drazzle. Are you guys doing anything else while you're in here, or are you headed back?
I'm gonna try and drag the body with me. That's about it.
I'm sorry, you're breaking up a little bit.
I'm gonna drag the body of the Medusa back.
Okay.
The only thing I really plan on doing.
Nothing on my end. I'm just going back.
Nope, just going back.
Nobody wants to check in these caves or anything that are nearby on our way.
I am hearing not.
I'm not feeling so good
I'll
right now.
give you a
so,
hand with this body. I don't know what you're gonna do.
Yeah, I would prefer if we head back. Not as young as
So
he once was.
I passed over something that you probably would have. Oh wait, no, hold on. Never mind. Wait, huh? Oh, there it is. No, nothing. You guys head back. You head back to the singing stones or the standing stones where, and you see your friend. He, before you even walk in, you can see a sense of contentment on his face. And it's very, very clear that he already knew, like he already had a sense that the place was restored. He thanks you for the work you did. And he says, hold on, I have to find where this is. He says, please, if you would, in thanks, my God wishes to give each of you a gift. And he points towards the standing stones, and it's clear he wants you to sort of put your hands on them.
Try to put mine not where I saw the face appear.
Okay. So you guys walk over, and just trying to figure this out. You feel a very, very like warm, like just your nose smell like it immediately. You smell like the smell of soil, like that smell right after rain first hits the humic acid in the soil. You smell, you feel just a warmth from the earth as it flows into you. And we will have to figure out how to do this because I don't think D&D Beyond does this well. But you each have the choice of a blessing of protection or a blessing of weapon. One of the more unusual things in the DMG.
What does it do?
So let me, where is, I have to find it. I haven't done it.
Probably it's something that in D&D Beyond you could create as a custom effect or override.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think we just have to do. But it's in the DMG. I know it's in the DMG.
And we could probably work that out
Yeah.
in the interim.
Yeah.
Exactly. So with that, since it's kind of late, I want to thank everyone. Is it okay if we stop here tonight?
Sure.
Sure. All right. So thanks everyone for joining us. This is 20 Sides to Every Story. Please, if you haven't had a chance, check out our Discord. It's a great little community. We get into a lot of things like TTRPGs, but also all sorts of games in every platform, as well as minis and all sorts of fun. We will be making an appearance, a lot of us, at GameholeCon. So if you're looking for people to hang out with, we're happy to have some new friends there. With that as well, we have a couple other things coming up this week. Tomorrow night is
Tomorrow night is Temple
of Elemental Evil.
Temple of Elemental. So
Evil.
The channel got a great preview copy of the new Goodman Games Temple of Elemental Evil, and so tomorrow night will be our second run through it, and that's a great drop-in, drop-out game. So if you're part of the community, all the information is on our Discord. Please check that out. Saturday night we have Kingmaker, and Sunday night we have Eldritch Sounds. We have I'm so tired. Oh, so sorry.
I think it's Saltmarsh
DM
this
Paul.
Sunday
DM
night
Paul
is Saltmarsh this week.
Saltmarsh, yeah, Saltmarsh. So anyway,
and he's hoping to be home in time.
okay. So someone kidnapping him this weekend, and hopefully he'll get out. So with that, I'm going to say goodnight. I hope you all enjoyed tonight, and we will look forward to our next session next week. So thanks.
Bye, everybody.